We are glad to have you on Soul TV tonight. Let's begin with the headlines. Governor Nwifuru presents 2026 appropriation bill to the State House of Assembly. Bandits gunned down police operatives in Zamfara. And Russia welcomes aspect of U.S. plan to end Ukraine war. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the news. My name is Chukwudi. Now the news in detail. The budget of 2026 fiscal year totaling approximately 884.87 billion with 135.38 billion allocated for recurrent expenditures and about 749.49 billion for capital projects presented by Governor Francis Nwifuru to the State House of Assembly has passed first and second readings. The presentation of the budget, which took place at the Hallowed Chambers of the State House of Assembly in Kaliki Road in Abakaliki, was witnessed by stakeholders of the state, civil society organizations, and many others. Government House correspondent Osondu Ngwota completes the report.
Presenting the 2026 appropriation bill, Governor Francis Nwifuru highlighted his administration's achievements over the past year, particularly in tackling economic challenges such as clearing pension debts, improving healthcare access through implementation of free maternal care and improved emergency services, investment in new schools, and scholarship for over 1,000 students, aimed at positioning Ebonyi as a hub for academic excellence. Embarking on agricultural mechanization and support for farmers, aimed at boosting local food production and economic stability, as well as infrastructural revolution to improve the state's aesthetic values, among others. He also outlined the state's strategic priorities in all sectors for the upcoming 2026 fiscal year, aimed at addressing the long-standing economic challenges and improving the welfare of Ebonyi citizens, and acknowledged the collaborative nature of governance and the importance of public trust towards having a prosperous and united state.
This government has proven that development is not just about infrastructure, but about the upliftment of lives. We are building roads and schools, yes, but we are also building people resilience, empowered, and proud with the Ebonyians. From the beginning of our administration, we declared that education must be our passport to the future. I am proud to report that we have taken bold, unprecedented steps to position Ebonyi State as a hub of academic excellence and innovations in this great country, Nigeria. To concretize this vision, the government has set a new standard in higher education by establishing one specialized institution and one conventional institution. The University of ICT at Ebonyi is the first of its kind institutions in this great region, designed to produce global competitive teaching tech professionals, software engineering, digital entrepreneurs. This university is our strategic response to the demand of the digital economy and the fourth industrial revolution. Additionally, the University of Aeronautic Engineering at Ezan, a bold and visionary initiative to place Ebonyi State at the forefront of aviation technology in Nigeria and Africa. With this institution, we are investing in future aerospace engineers and creating opportunities for Ebonyians in a high-demand global sector.
Governor Nwifuru emphasized that the 2026 budget, tagged Budget of Actualization and Hope, was framed around people's charter of needs guiding principle, focusing on addressing the most pressing needs of the state's citizens through a people-first approach, and affirmed that those initiatives were designed to uplift lives of all Ebonians, prioritizing human capital development, industrialization, and economic growth, among others, which he said are essential for sustainable growth, and stressed the importance of citizen participation in shaping the budget, and called for continued collaboration between all stakeholders to transform those plans into reality to foster an inclusive, thriving environment for future generations.
The proposal contains our strategic plan for fiscal consolidation and for championing a course for sustainable and increased economic growth by bridging the infrastructure deficits, enhancing human capital development, and exploiting the opportunities available to our people. The People's Charter of Need agenda is a covenant that compelled us to ask not what is government, But what is necessary? In preparing this budget, we took cognizance of the voices, opinions, and feelings of the people through citizen participation. The budget I present today is not a routine physical exercise. It is a roadmap compass, pointing us toward a future defined not by scarcity, but by possibilities, to address the most pressing need of our state.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Chief Moses Odonwa, described the event as not a mere celebration, but a cornerstone of a shared governance and a demonstration of synergy between the executive and the legislative arm of government, all geared towards collective good of the people of the state, and expressed appreciation of the noble house for the all-round heartwarming developmental strides being witnessed under Governor Francis Nwifuru-led administration.
Has been the guiding light, the tangible dividends of democracy visible in the areas of infrastructure, education, healthcare, and rural development are testaments to a government that listens and responds to the earnings of the citizens. The 2025 budget, which this assembly diligently designed and passed into law, is currently yielding impressive results. And we are encouraged prudence and dedication shown by the administration. This gives us great hope and sets the positive precedent.
The Speaker further highlighted on the achievements of Governor Nwifuru on other sectors, such as human capital development, education, improved healthcare, agriculture, economic development, infrastructural development, industrialization initiatives, access to potable water, as well as peace and enhanced security architecture for the state, and assured of more robust synergy between the legislative and other arms of government for the governor to achieve his desired dream for the development of the state. Osondo Nguta, Salt TV News.
Fire has razed down one-story building at number 31 Uchewambe Street, House Quarters in Abakaliki. A reporter who witnessed the event reports.
According to the occupant of the building, Mr. Amos Nwono, the inferno, which started about 7:30 p.m. in the night, destroyed a lot of his property, ranging from television sets, cushion, clothes, and mattresses, among other valuable items. Mr. Nwono thanked God for rescuing his 3-year-old child, who was in the parlor when the fire was seriously raging, and appealed to the state government and other public-spirited individuals to come to the aid of his family, as they are currently homeless and hopeless.
Monday evening around 7:30, so I had a phone call from my wife telling me that fire is burning our house. So I rushed before I could reach the yard. So the fire is already on top of the roof. So we couldn't help it. So I don't know what to do next. Rather, I wanted to jump in, but people held me. So they could not allow me to enter. They are inside again. And my small child was there.
The wife of the occupant of the burnt one-story building, Mrs. Chinaza Henry, blamed the inferno to faulty electrical connection and revealed that her family is devastated because of the ugly incident.
I couldn't even believe that my baby would come out from that house alive, untouched. Look at the baby here. It's healthy, but everything was burned.
Some neighbors living around the burnt one-story building, including Mrs. Grace Oti of EBBC and Miss Celestina Nwankwo, thank God for saving the life of the 3-year-old child who was trapped during the inferno, and men of the fire service for their prompt response and intervention in the face of the inferno.
We were not crying because of the properties that have been burned by fire. We were crying because as the fire was burning, a little child of 3 years was still inside.
It was gathered that the 3-year-old child of the occupant of the burnt one-story building, who was in the parlor during the inferno, was untouched and safe as the fire enveloped the building. For Salt TV News, I am Chidiebere Morie.
And from the disaster scene, we now go to security, where the national chairman of Grassroots for Peace and Good Governance, Usman Anache, says the security, or rather rescue, of the abducted KB schoolgirls has brought happiness to the people of the state. Anache spoke on Wednesday hours after the kidnapped students were returned and handed over to Governor Nasiru Idris of KB State. The students were taken away from their schools on Monday last week, a development that drew outrage from within and outside Nigeria. In reaction, President Bola Tinubu ordered security operatives to go after the assailants and instructed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit the northwest state. The theater commander, Major General Idris Wara, handed over the girls to the governor in Birnin Kebbi Tuesday night. And still on that, a mobile police operative attached to Operation Rescue Peace has been gunned down in an ambush by armed bandits in Adapka village, Bukiyum local government area of Zamfara state. The incident, according to popular security expert Zagazola Makam, happened on Tuesday when the officer deployed from Mopul 15, Ilorin, left his duty post located at Adapka en route to his Tibis village to purchase essential supplies. Quoting security sources, Zagazola said the operatives was attacked at the outskirts of Adapka by armed bandits concealed in the surrounding bushes. He said the assailants opened fire on the officer, killing him instantly before carrying away his service riot gun. Field team deployed to the scene recovered the body of the fallen operatives, which was evacuated to Adapka Primary Health Care for documentation. You are still watching Salt TV News. More of the stories when we return from this short break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Now the rest of the items in the bulletin. From the foreign scene, Russia has seen the latest copy of the U.S. plan to end Ukraine war and views some of them positively, but other points require discussion, the Kremlin said. In comment to Russia state press, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said the new draft required truly serious analysis and that Russia had not yet discussed it with anyone. Washington's latest plan has not yet been published. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that the release was a fine-tuned version of the early 28-point plan that would have seen Ukraine withdraw its Donetsk region and cut size of its army, point that Kyiv had criticized. Ukraine said later it had reached an understanding with the U.S. and that the two sides had pared back some of the points in disregard with following the agreement. Trump said the Kremlin confirmed earlier that U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff would visit Moscow next week to meet with Russia President Vladimir Putin. Ushakov separately criticized Europe for getting involved in talks on ending the war, accusing them of meddling in the peace process. And still on the foreign scene, oil prices climbed after sliding to a one-month low in the previous low session. Brent crude future rose 27 cents, or 0.43% to 62.75 per barrel, and 0.512. And now from the world of sports. Let's now go to the world of sports, where Nigeria's preparation for 2025 Africa Cup of Nations have suffered a major setback as highly rated defender Benjamin Frederick is now at risk of missing the tournament after sustaining knee injury. The 19-year-old centre-back, regarded as one of the most promising young defenders in the Super Eagles, set up reportedly picked up the injury during a closed training session with his club. Initial assessment indicate the damage could sideline him for several weeks, casting serious doubt over his availability for the AFCON schedule to kick off in December Medical staff are still conducting further tests to determine the extent of the injury. But the early indications suggest that Frederick may face a race against time to regain full fitness before final squad list is submitted. His potential absence would be a huge blow to head coach Finidi George, who has been counting on the teenagers' composure, aerial strength, and versatility as part of Nigeria's defensive option for continental showpiece. And that's the size of our package on Soul TV News tonight. Before we go, let's bring you the recap of the major stories that made the bulletin. We informed you that the budget of 2026 fiscal year totaling approximately 884.87 billion naira, with 135.38 billion naira allocated for recurrent expenditure and about 749.49 billion naira for capital projects, presented by Governor Francis Nwifuru to the State House of Assembly, has passed first and second reading. We also informed you that a mobile police operative attached to Operation Restore Peace is being gunned down in an ambush by armed bandits in Adagba village, Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State. From the foreign scene, we brought you a report that Russia has seen the latest copy of the U.S. plan to end Ukraine war and views some of it positively, but other points require discussion, the Kremlin said. That's the size of our package on Soul TV News tonight. Thanks for staying with us. My name is Chukwu Dinweke. Keep watching Soul TV programs. Good night.